Elen Silla Lumen Omen Taelvo. Today I bring to you all another installment of the Kings of Arda with the Kings of Rohan. As I have done in previous videos, I will only give the most important events during each king's rule. The first king of Rohan was Eorl the Young, and he ruled from 2510 to 2545, establishing Rohan from Calanarthon and forming an alliance with Gondor. Eorl would be killed battling Easterling invaders. He was succeeded by his son, Brego, who ruled from 2545 to 2570, and he built the capital city of Meduseld. He died from grief when his son Baldur vanished. Aldor the Old was the third king of Rohan, ruling from 2570 to 2645. It was he who achieved peace in Rohan by defeating the last of the Dunlendings. Little else is known about the next king, Freya, save that he ruled from 2645 to 2659, and he was very old by the beginning of his reign. His son was Freywine, who ruled from 2659 to 2680, and he ruled a peaceful and prosperous Rohan. The sixth king was Goldwine, who ruled from 2680 to 2699, and little is known of his rule, but his son Dior, in his rule from 2699 to 2718, had much trouble, for the Dunlendings had taken hold of Isengard, and they caused trouble for Rohan. The eighth king, Graham, could do little against the Dunlendings. Throughout his reign from 2718 to 2741, merged with the Rohirrim. It would be Helm Hammerhand who ruled from 2741 and 2759, who would battle the Dunlendings who invaded Rohan. During the long winter, he led his folk to the Hornburg, and Helm would raid the Dunlending camps, but he was slain due to the cold winter night. Here the first line of kings ends, for Helm's sons too were slain. The second line began with Freyalaf Hildison, who reigned from 2759 to 2798, and he drove out the Dunlendings, and he welcomed Saruman to Isengard. The 11th king, Britta, ruled from 2798 to 2842, and he was a very generous king, beloved by his people, perhaps most beloved of all of Rohan's kings. The next king was Walda, who ruled from 2842 to 2851, the shortest rule in Rohan's history, for he and his companions were slain by orcs. From 2851 to 2864, Folka ruled as king, and he spent his reign hunting the orcs that dwelt in Rohan and destroying them. Folka died when he hunted the great boar. Folkwine was the 14th king of Rohan, ruling from 2864 to 2903. In this time, Gondor was attacked from the south, so Folkwine sent his sons, Fulkred and Fastred, to fulfill the oath of Eorl, but they were slain in Ithilien. Fengel, the youngest son, would be the next king, ruling from 2903 to 2953, and he was a greedy man, and the Rohirrim would have little love for their king, with many conflicts occurring between Fengel and his marshals and his children as well. When Fengel died, Thengel became king, reigning from 2953 to 2980. In his time, Saruman the White would begin causing trouble for the Rohirrim and harassing them. In 2980, perhaps the greatest king of Rohan was crowned, Theoden. He ruled from 2980 to 3019, and it was he who led his people through the War of the Ring, fighting in the battles of the Hornburg and Pelennor fields. It was at the Pelennor that Theoden would be slain by the Witch King of Angmar. The second line of kings ended here, for Theodred, Theoden's only son, was slain in the war. And so the third line began, with Eomer ruling from 3019 to 63 of the Fourth Age. Eomer led Rohan through the rest of the War of the Ring, and would lead Rohan into its greatest golden age, one of peace and friendship with Gondor. Elfwine was the 19th and final king of Rohan that we know of, and we know that he ruled a peaceful realm. And that concludes the Kings of Rohan. Thank you all for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe for more content, and please let me know how I can better improve my videos. Thanks, and as the elves say, Namarie.